Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Sam from Cancer Moon's Tarot, and I'm coming at you guys with a brand new series, an all signs type of video. So I literally just came up with this on the fly. This is going to be the all signs, the best message I can give you. So this is going to be a super short read for every single zodiac. I'm going to go traditionally from Aries to Pisces. You guys can go check out the timestamps that'll be in the description and the comment section below. But pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull cards. That'll be the best message that I can give for you, depending on when you need to hear it. This will be a timeless message, by the way. I don't feel like this will need to be like any kind of like message for May or anything. It's just completely timeless. It'll be the best message you need to hear in the moment that you end up receiving it. So starting out here with Aries, what is going to be the best message that Aries needs to hear whenever they need to hear it? What is going to be the best message that my Aries need to hear? What do we have? We got here the Eight of Wands. Could be a really good time here to travel. Maybe it's time for you guys to actually pick up and go. It's time for you to go to that place you've always wanted to move, that place you've always wanted to visit. Maybe it's time to take action in a situation that you've really been holding back on for quite a long time. Moving on to the next card, we have here the King of Pentacles. Yeah, wherever you're going is going to lead you into a very great path of victory. I definitely will say the King of Pentacles is abundance for sure. And then lastly, we have here the Eight of Swords. You know, what you need to hear right now here, Aries, is that your thoughts, your overthinking, your fears, your worries are holding you back right now from attaining all the abundance that's staring you in the face. It's time for you to take action and go towards that abundance that you want. So whatever you've been holding back on, the best message I can give you is go for it right now. There is no time to be wasted. There is no reason to be holding back here any longer. You know, whether it's about starting that new business, whether it's about starting that project, it's about traveling to that place you've always wanted to go to, making that move that you have been thinking about for months and months and months. It's time for you to do it, you know? With the Eight of Swords here, you're only going to be stuck furthermore in your mental imprisonment the more and more that you delay taking action on what you actually want. And you know what, Aries? If you do take action here, you're going to be successful and it's going to work out here for you, okay? So that's the best message that I got here for Aries. I love it. Really, really fantastic. Really, really awesome. All right, let's move on here to Taurus. Taurus, what is the best message I can give you guys? A timeless message here whenever you need to hear it. What is the best message that I can deliver here to Taurus? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. First card out, we have here the Death card. Moving on to the next one, we have here the Queen of Cups. And then lastly for you, we have here the Four of Wands. Taurus, the best message I can give you guys is that it's time for you to change the way that you are looking at situations with an emotional perspective. It seems to me like the way that you've been looking at something emotionally is not what's going to be delivering you what you actually want. You know, the Four of Wands over here is stability. It could be stability within relationships, stability within friendships. But at the end of the day, if you keep on getting involved in this Queen of Cups energy, you're going to push yourself away from being able to develop a close relationship to somebody. So what this is saying here with the Death card is that you have to change the way that you've been viewing situations emotionally. It kind of seems to me like you've been reading into something a little bit too much. Maybe you've been reading into the energy of how other people perceive you. Maybe you've been stuck in the energy of wanting people to like you. And at the end of the day, when you get caught up in that energy of wanting everybody to like you, what ends up happening is that it tends to make you feel more insecure. I feel like the way that you present yourself is probably the biggest thing that you've been fearing recently. And if you're scared about the way that you're presenting yourself, most of the time you're not going to be presenting yourself as the authentic Taurus you are. You're going to try to be something that you're not, something that's likable, something that people will enjoy. And at the end of the day, I think it's so much better to be the real you, because at least the people who fuck with you are fucking with the real version of who you are. So ultimately, the best message that I can give you guys at any time frame, at any time you need to hear this, is be the person that you are right now. Don't care if other people don't like you. Don't care if other people have bad shit to say or negative shit to say, because it doesn't matter. Because the people in your life who do inevitably end up liking you, loving you, connecting with you, vibing with you, are going to like you for the real person that you are. It feels to me like you're in a position to where you are pretty sensitive about how other people view you, how other people have a perspective on you. But that's not what's going to form you your closest relationships. You know, you're not going to build your closest relationships based upon trying to get some individual to like you and doing everything that you can to make yourself likable. You're going to have the best relationships by being the authentic version of who you are, because those people are going to fuck with the real Taurus. So the best message I can give you is be yourself. Point blank period. If somebody doesn't like you, screw them, you know? Why do they have to? Not everybody has to like you. And for the people that do, it'll be real. It'll be an authentic, true, real, and connection, okay? It'll be an authentic, true, and real connection, all right? All right, baby. Moving on now to the Gemini. What is the best message I can give Gemini here for whenever they need to hear it? Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oh, we already got 3 cards rolling on out. Let's go ahead and jump right into this one. So, Gemini, we have here a 7 of Wands, we got here an Empress, and we have here a 2 of Swords. So the best message I can deliver to you is 7 of Wands here to the Empress card. I do feel like this is the energy right now of wanting a lot of growth and wanting a lot of expansion and wanting it all to kind of happen and unfold in a very fast and rapid manner. Rome isn't built in a day, you know? It doesn't take a building an overnight process to happen. That building can be made in weeks, months, years. So if you're trying to establish an empire right now, if you're trying to find some sort of success in your life, you have to be willing to be more patient. You know, the 2 of Swords here says that you constantly contradict yourself on whether or not what you want is growing or expanding or if it's really working out for you. I think that it's time to consider that maybe you haven't been giving yourself enough time to watch your growth unfold. You know, a lot of people put a lot of work in a short duration of time, and then they get no results. A lot of other people put a lot of work in for a huge duration of time, and then they start to see the results. So Geminis, I feel like you have to get out of the short-minded mindset. Stop trying to do a lot in just a short time frame in hopes that it's going to blow you up and that all the success you want is going to come to you quickly. There is no life hack in life to make shit happen immediately the way that we want it to. It requires effort, it requires patience. So whatever it is that you guys are working on right now, whether this is your career you're investing into, whether this is a relationship, whether this is self and personal development, it's not going to be an overnight process. It's going to be something that you're going to have to commit to putting a lot of work in, and you got to put a lot of that work in for a huge duration of time. You know, some people can get overnight success, sure, but even people who have overnight success still have to commit to keeping that success afloat. So continue to work on what it is you're doing, but don't expect things to come as quickly as you'd like them to. You have to be willing to stay consistent and be committed to the goal and the vision, and you will see that happen. You will see that growth and expansion come as so long as you're continuing to stay consistent and committed to the idea, goal, and vision that you have within your mind, okay? So Geminis, I feel like you're definitely in this position right now where you're contradicting and psyching yourself out constantly. It's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm putting in so much work, but nothing's growing, nothing's happening. I feel like there's a ton of resistance. The resistance is only happening because you're expecting it to happen all so fast, when in actuality, it takes time for things to grow. You know, when you plant a seed, you plant some flowers, and you water them, and you let the sun nourish them. It doesn't grow overnight. It takes a while, right, to start to see that first sprout. So continue to water your seeds, but also give your seeds some time to grow. All right, that's the best message that I have here for Gemini. Moving on forward to the lovely and amazing Cancers. Let's see what messages we have here for Cancer. What is the best message I can give Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus whenever they need to hear it. Cancer, we have here a 5 of Swords. Moving on to the next card, we also have here a 5 of Wands. And then lastly for you, Cancer, we have here the 6 of Wands. So this is going to be one of those messages that have absolutely no chill. Okay, Cancer? So please don't shoot the messenger. But 5 of Swords here, 5 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. This is the energy of wondering, why have I constantly been attracting things that are negative or toxic? Sometimes you have to look at yourself and wonder, is this something I'm attracting because do I have a part of myself that potentially could be attracting these types of people? It's almost like having to take a step back and look in the mirror, Cancer. I think that everybody has toxic traits. So I'm not necessarily just calling you out, Cancerian, because every person in this planet has toxic traits. I myself have toxic traits. And when we can own up to the fact that we have certain toxic traits within us, sometimes what happens is that those toxic traits get played out in people in our lives. So if there's something about ourselves that's toxic, what actually usually tends to happen is we'll meet people who will trigger that within us because they will act the same way we act, and it acts as a reflection. It's like looking in the mirror when you're looking at those types of people in your life, and it can irritate you, it can piss you off, it can make you angry, but the truth is that that person is triggering you to help you realize if you don't like that toxic energy coming out of another person, then you most importantly shouldn't like that toxic energy coming out from within yourself. And it forces you to kind of look at what it is you don't like, and if you can identify that you don't like it, then it's time to make a change within yourself. You see what I'm saying, Cancer? So it feels to me that if you're in a position in your life right now where you're noticing that there is a lot of bad things going on or a lot of toxic people around you, maybe take a look in the mirror and see if any of those toxic traits they're exhibiting is something that you have within yourself. And if that's the case, Cancer, look in the mirror and say, if I don't like this coming from another person, I'm not going to like this coming from me. And maybe that's a reflection I needed to see in order for me to heal through this energy so that I can move forward, right? So sometimes it's not about other people coming into your world to mess with you and to hurt you. Sometimes other people come into your world to kind of be a little bit of a mirror, act as of a reflection, right? Of how you are and things that you need to heal that maybe aren't beneficial to yourself or other people. So Cancers, I don't feel like it's more so like the world is out to get you. I feel like this is more of like there is a mirror right in front of you, and it's time for you to kind of see your negativity and some of the toxic energies that you have and work on that, you know, instead of wanting all these other people to work on it. Maybe the only reason they're there in the first place is to show you that you were the person that needed to work on that stuff all along. You know, this type of energy is a big blow to the ego. It makes you, you know, kind of recognize like, damn, that sucks. You know, shit, I actually do have that toxic trait. I do have to heal that. But when you put the ego aside and you recognize, okay, this is some of the unhealthy things I do, and you realize that you don't like other people doing it, you're going to realize that you won't like doing it either, and that you should really focus on trying to better yourself in that position. So Cancers, I know that some of you guys might be a little aggravated at that message, but this is all about the best messages I can give you whenever you need to hear them. So if you're, you know, exhibiting your own toxic behavior and you're noticing it manifest in other people, that's a telltale sign that they're there in order to show you what you're doing is something that you don't like and that you got to heal that yourself, okay? All right, Cancer, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. I really hope I didn't trigger the Cancerians, but like I said, you got to try to move out of your ego there and accept that on more of a healing level, right? All right, baby, so we're going to move ahead on now to the Leos. All right, what do we got for Leo? What'll be the best message that I can deliver to them? Leo, we have here the Empress. Beautiful. I do love a nice Empress card. Moving on to the next card, we do have here the Two of Cups. And then moving on to the last card here, we have the Page of Cups. So, Leo, the best message I can give you in a timeless time frame. Empress here, Two of Cups, Page of Cups. It's almost like you're in a position right now where you're not noticing how much you can influence and impact other people. It feels to me like you have such a great way of connecting with people, Leo. You have such a great way of inspiring people. You have such a great way of showing individuals a good time. And I feel like you're not accessing that ability that could be used for so much good in your life. It almost feels to me like you have this gift of lighting up people's moods, of making people smile, of making people happier, of being the life of the party, and you're not taking advantage of that when Spirit's trying to say you are a natural born light worker and you very well likely can take advantage of that. You know, if you're a Leo and you notice that you know how to make other people smile, you notice that you know how to make other people feel better when they're going through a really hard and rough time, you can put that into your life purpose. You can put that into your career. You can put that into your path as a light worker. And if you have never really considered yourself a light worker before and you resonate with this message, you very well likely are a light worker. So I feel like the universe here is trying to say, you've been doing this all along. It's time to activate and acknowledge who you are and who this person is within you, because you are this light worker. It's time to kind of open up to your path of that, is what I'm sensing for you, Leo. So for those of you that resonate with this, you are a light worker. I feel like the universe here is saying to you, you know, it's kind of time to activate that and maybe do something with it. I mean, if you've been feeling inspired to get into tarot, if you've been feeling inspired to get into astrology, if you've been feeling inspired to become a psychologist, to become a social worker, to just do stuff to help other people and help raise the vibration of other individuals, don't hesitate to act on that, because you're going to be wonderful at whatever kind of work you do in that area, okay? So the universe is trying to say, take advantage of it, guys, because you're going to be absolutely wonderful in assisting and aiding the vibration uplifting on the planet. You're going to be so good at aiding and raising the vibration of other people in general, okay? All right, Leo, that was a fantastic message. Love that one for you. We're going to go ahead and jump on now to the Virgo. What do we got going on here for Virgo? What is the best message I can deliver to them? What is the best message we have here for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Looking at the first card, we have here the Nine of Wands. Moving on to the second card, we have here the Four of Pentacles. And then lastly for you is going to be the Wheel of Fortune. So, Virgo, the best message I can give you guys, we have here the Nine of Wands paired with the Four of Pentacles. It's almost like you got to stop being so afraid to get out of your comfort zone is what I'm feeling for you, because The Four of Pentacles is this person who's protecting everything that they have, everything that they value, and they're so scared of losing it. It's like you're very, very fearful of losing everything that you have, that you avoid change when change is trying to make way in your life. You know, you have here the Wheel of Fortune. That's a very massive card that talks about pretty big changes occurring. So with the Nine of Wands over here all the way to the Four of Pentacles, you're trying to protect what it is you value. You're trying to protect everything that you have right now, but you're not opening yourself up to more abundance that's trying to make its way towards you. So Virgo, the best message that I can give you guys that need to hear it is that more abundance is trying to make its way towards you. And the more that you keep holding back, not letting anything in, being closed off and remaining closed off, is the more that you're missing out on amazing opportunities for more abundance to manifest within your life. You know, I definitely understand wanting to protect what it is you value. I definitely understand wanting to hold on to the things that you cherish with joy. But the greatest thing about life is change sometimes, because change isn't something that's always inherently negative. Change is something that can bring in a whirlwind of beautiful situations. So Virgos, the best message I can give you is that if you're very closed off right now, the universe is trying to deliver you blessings. And the more that you're closed off, the more you're going to miss those blessings. So if you open yourself up to new things coming in, you'll be surprised at the beautiful things you receive, okay? So Virgo, I feel like the best message I can give you is be more open. Be more open-minded, be more receptive to what the universe is trying to bring your way, be more aware of the opportunities that are manifesting in your life, because opportunities are happening all around you, Virgo. You might not be tapped in and tuned in to see them, so if you become more aware, you might start to spot and notice those opportunities, and you might start to open up to them, and when you open up to them, you might start to see the blessings that are forming within them. So whether you've been aware that you've been closed off or not, continue to be aware now of the things that are going on around you and continue to be more open and receptive to receiving new things, and you'll start to see some really wonderful blessings manifesting here, okay? So that's the best message that I have here for Virgo. We're going to go ahead and move on here to Libra, all right? What is the best message that we have here for Libra? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the best message we have? What do we got here for Libra? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Libra, first message is going to be the Ten of Cups. Moving on to the next card, we do have here the Lovers, if I can go ahead and grab that. We do have here the Lovers, and then lastly for you, we have here the Death card. So, the Ten of Cups, not the Ten of Pentacles. So, the Ten of Cups here, the Lovers card here, and the Death card. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Well, I think that the best message I can give you is that at the end of the day, good shit in life changes, and we can have it really good, and we can have it really good for a while, but not everything is permanent. You know, a lot of things in life are temporary, and good times will end, just like bad times will end too. I feel like what the message that's being delivered here for you is trying to say is that despite the fact that you have really good moments in your life, of course you should cherish them, of course you should enjoy them to the most of your ability, but when they end, don't allow that to be the ending in general. When good moments in your life end, don't allow that to be the downfall of your life. You know, if you have something good in your life that comes to an ending, appreciate that chapter for what it was and allow it to close with ease. Because remember, if there was a good moment once, there will be a good moment again. You know, if there's a bad moment once, there will be a bad moment again, right? We live in a world of duality. There's always going to be good, there's always going to be bad. But we can never be in just the great moments forever, and we can never be in just the bad moments forever. So I think that the universe is trying to say to you, stop holding on to when the good moments disappear, but instead open yourself up for newer experiences that could be just as good or even better. Because even if you're losing or missing out on a great chapter, or even if a chapter in your life is ending that was so magnificent and so fantastic, doesn't mean that you're not going to come across a better one later on in your life. So I think the universe is trying to say to you, get more comfortable with letting go. You know, get more comfortable with saying goodbye. Get more comfortable with making peace with what you've experienced, because there's always going to be another great experience out there, another great journey out there that's waiting for you. So it's okay to have endings here. And I think they want you to grasp those endings more and allow yourself to let them come to an end instead of holding on to them for dear life, you know? So Libras, essentially what the message here for you is, or the best message that I can convey to you is that there will always be an ending to every chapter we experience in our life, whether good, whether bad. And if something great in your life does come to an ending, it could be saddening, it could be upsetting, but appreciate that chapter of your life for what it was, and keep yourself open for the next great thing that's going to occur in your life, because there will be another great thing there. All right, Libra, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. So we're going to go ahead and move on now to the Scorpio. What is the best message I can give Scorpio? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the best message right now that I can convey to Scorpio, please? A message that they need to hear when they need to hear it. Scorpio, we got here the Four of Pentacles. We also had another card fly out, which is going to be the Ace of Cups. And then lastly for you, Scorpio, we have here the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, I never naturally have reversals in this tarot deck, so that's interesting that that came out reversed. Let's go ahead and talk about it, though. So, Four of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Two of Pentacles in the reverse. The best message I can probably convey to you, Scorpio, is that holding on to the things that you love is not going to keep those things around. You know? This is kind of similar almost to what I just read for Libra, but in a way it's a little bit different. You might be a Scorpio potentially with like a Libra rising, or somewhere in your chart you may have Libra, but nonetheless, I feel like what's happening here is like the tighter you hold on to the things that you love doesn't mean that it's going to be secure. I think that the universe is trying to say, stop trying to harp so much on having security and being fearful of things walking away from you, and instead enjoy what it is that you have in front of you right now for however long you may have it, because the next day you can lose something great. And the next day you can find something just as great or even better. So essentially the best message that I feel like I can convey to you is like, stop being so harped on security. You know, maybe in love right now, you're only willing to date people if there's a sense of security that they're going to stick around. Maybe in friendship, it's like, I'm afraid to get too close to people because what if they change? What if they leave? What if they walk away? It's like, that all can happen, inevitably. It can happen on good terms. It can happen on bad terms. It can happen on, you know, anything just randomly coming up and coming about. But you're never going to get to really, truly enjoy the wonderful and loving and amazing situations and experiences that you'll have in your life if you're way too caught up on them being secure and way too caught up on hoping that they don't disappear. Scorpio, everything is temporary. The relationships that you have with people are going to be temporary. The love that you have with people are going to be temporary. The life that you're living is going to be temporary. And we have to take a step back and just be happy and healthy and enjoy what we have in front of us, because it can be taken away from us tomorrow. And if all you're ever hooked on, excuse me, that's the word I wanted to say. If all you're ever hooked on is just something being stable and something being secure, you know, you're going to miss out giving yourself the opportunity to have these types of connections and have this type of joy with people, because you're scared of, well, what if one day they leave? I mean, inevitably, we're all going to leave. We're all going to leave this earth, right? So don't push out all these opportunities because you're so harped up on security. You know, something can end 100 years from now. Something can end a day from now. You never really know. And if you don't give yourself the opportunity to enjoy it, you're going to let that opportunity pass you right by. So Scorpios, the best message I can give you is stop harping so much on security. Stop making security the big theme here. And instead, just say fuck it. Go with the flow. If something good is in your life and if something's making you happy, enjoy it with, you know, enjoy that situation. Be happy with that situation. And when it ends, it ends. And if a new one comes, a new one comes, you know? I think that no matter how much we try to make ourselves feel secure, it's not going to end up making you feel secure at all. Because all it's going to do is make you worried about when that ending is going to come, you know? Be in line and enjoy the journey. Allow yourself to say, hey, the journey is more important right now than wondering when it ends, right? Because you're never going to know when it ends. It can end tomorrow, it can end in 50 years, you know? So enjoy where you're at right now and just be fully present to the moment, and you're going to have a better experience than hoping that it never leaves or ever walks away. All right? All right, Scorpio, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. So we finished up Scorpio. We're going to go ahead and move on now towards the Sagittarius. What do we have? What is the best message I can convey to Sagittarius here? Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the best message I can give them? Saggy, we got here the Chariot in reverse. Moving on forward from that, we do have here the Two of Cups. And then lastly for you, we have here the Empress card. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, Sagittarius, with the Chariot in the reverse here to the Two of Cups upright, I feel like what the universe is trying to say to you right now is that don't think about going forward. Don't think about going backwards. Think about exactly where you are. This is the energy of allowing yourself to stay present. I feel like the universe right now wants you guys guys to stay present and not so much focus on your growth, but instead focus on the beauty that's around you. You know, this is the energy of like, don't be worried about your future. Don't be worried about where you and this individual are going, but instead enjoy the moment that you're spending with somebody right now, or enjoy the moment that you're sitting in your life right now. Actually, pretty much for the past 3 signs I just read for, it's a pretty similar message here. So I feel like kind of like the collective is being told right now to stop worrying so much about their future, but instead to just be present and enjoy the moment. So Sagittarius, you know, the best message that I can give you is that you have some very beautiful things, the Empress, right? You got some very beautiful things that are happening in your life right now. And who knows if these beautiful things, whether they're beautiful relationships, a beautiful career, whether it's a beautiful and happy and prosperous and abundant moments occurring in your life, you know, who knows if they're going to be here tomorrow. But what I do know is that they're here today, and you should make the most of that. Make the most of today here. Make that a mantra, right? I'm going to start to become willing to make the most of today, right? That can start to be your mantra, because the more we focus on making the most of today, the more we start to enjoy our lives instead of constantly worrying and wondering about tomorrow. So I got the message here for you. The best message for you, Sagittarius, is to continue to stay present. You have some beautiful stuff in your life here today. Celebrate today and enjoy today. Okay? That's what I got here for you. Moving on now to the Capricorn. Let's go ahead and see what's up. What is the best message I can convey to Capricorn, please? Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What is the best message that we have here for Capricorn? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's go ahead and check it out. First card out, we have here the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Moving on here to the next card, we have here the 10 of Wands in reverse. And then lastly for you, Cappy, is going to be the Death card upright. So let's go ahead and talk about it. In reference to the best message I can give you, 9 of Pentacles in the reverse here to the 10 of Wands in reverse. Honestly, in certain situations that requires teamwork, partnership, anything along those lines, if you feel like you're burdened by the fact that the other person wants different things than what it is you personally resonate with, it may not be worth the investment. Capricorn, people are going to be inevitably who they are. You are going to be inevitably who you are. And the more that you try to mix and match, you know, what somebody can bring to the table versus what you want in life, the more you're going to find clashing and bashing in future relationships that form. I feel like what the universe is trying to say is that if there's somebody right now that you're connecting with, or in the future, if you end up connecting with certain people, if they're not your forte, if they're not your flavor, if they're not everything that it is that you're looking for, don't invest yourself into that, because it's only going to lead you to disappointment because somebody's not meeting your expectations. I think that the universe is trying to say to you, don't even be in a position right now where you're searching for those types of people to meet your expectations, but instead go into future relationships with no expectations at all. And at the end of the day, you never really know who you'll actually click with. At the end of the day, people can be different than you, right? And you can end up having a fantastic relationship. People don't always have to be incredibly similar to what it is you want or to what it is you're looking for. So I'm kind of getting like, don't judge a book by its cover vibes for you, Capricorn, but at the same time, I'm also getting this energy of like, if somebody is distinctly different to you and there's something about them that you don't like, don't be involved in that connection hoping that they'll morph and change into what you desire, because people are always going to be who they are. You know, if somebody is just not your forte, if somebody is just not your taste right off the bat, don't even bother the investment, because people are never going to change into what you want them to be. They're always going to be themselves. So Capricorns, I feel like the best message that I can relay to you is that it's really important to let people show up as they are. And if you dig that, cool. And if you don't, you don't. You know, don't spend time hoping that they'll meet your expectations in the future, or that they will eventually be the person you want them to be, because they're never going to change who they are. And you're never going to change who you are either. So I do feel here for you. If you're a Capricorn here and you've kind of been in situations where you've hoped that people would turn out differently than as they are, don't waste your time. All right? I think that's the best message I can tell you. And also, sometimes people will surprise you. You know, let them show up as they are. Have no expectations for who people are when you originally meet them, because you might be surprised to meet who that person is, and you might recognize that they're more fantastic than you ever would have imagined before you really got to know them, okay? So just throwing that out here, Capricorn. Try to have no expectations going forward meeting people. And also, if you see something about a person that you don't inherently like right off the bat, and you're just hoping that maybe they'll change in due time, don't waste that, right? They're going to show up as they are as you show up as you are, okay? All right, Capricorn, pretty interesting message. Of course, take it if it resonates. If it doesn't, no worries, all right? All right, so we finished up Cappy. We're going to go ahead and move on now to Aquarius. What do we have here for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the best message I can convey to Team Aqua? First card out, we do have here the Devil in reverse. Moving on to the next card, we have here the Five of Pentacles. And then lastly, Aquarius, we have here the Wheel of Fortune. So, Aquarius, we have here the Devil, the Five of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. The best message that I can probably give you guys is that ultimately it's better to be alone than to be surrounded by inherently toxic situations. At the end of the day, I think sometimes people fear being alone. Sometimes people fear not having individuals in their lives. But at the end of the day, it's totally so much better for you to be alone and on your own and just vibing than being around really shitty situations or possibly really crappy people, So with the Wheel of Fortune showing up over here, the universe is trying to say, despite the fact of what it is you have in your life, abundance is not coming from the certain amount of what it is you have. It's coming from the value of what it is you have, right? Let's say, for example, you have a lot of friends, but they're not really great friends. Are you more abundant having a bunch of friends who don't really treat you great, or are you abundant having like 2 friends who treat you the best, right? You would be abundant with the 2 friends because they bring the value. Having a multitude of friends isn't necessarily abundance, because if they're not bringing in the value, if they're not the friends that are amazing and that are there for you, that right then and there is a lack of abundance, actually. So you may have more of those friends, but they're not bringing in any sort of value. So it seems to me like what the universe is trying to say to you here is that abundance comes in the form of value. It comes in the form of fulfillment. It comes in the form of enrichment within your soul. It doesn't come in the form of how much you have of a certain situation, right? So for those of you guys that are dealing with this right now, with the Devil in reverse and the Five of Pentacles, feeling lonely, feeling on your own, feeling in lack, feeling like you don't have enough, the only thing that is the important feeling you should be going for is whether or not you have something that's valuable, okay? Because that'll be the true form of abundance. For example, a lot of people would think having a lot of money is going to be hella fulfilling because they have an abundant amount of money, right? They're rich. They have everything. Okay. They may have $1 million mansion. They might have a Porsche. They might have a couple of people that they hired to work for them and to work within the home. That's great. Is that person happy though? They might have a lot of money, but are they truly happy? Are they in a relationship with somebody that they're happy with? Are they doing work that they're happy with? Versus the person who's bought themselves a home. It's not a mansion, of course, but it's a home. It's a home that, fills up with the family, fills up with the wife, fills up with the husband, fills up with the kids, fills up with family and friends. And it's a fantastic and fun time anytime people come over. What's more valuable? Oh, look at me, I own a mansion. I have a server that works for me. Or look at me, I have family, right? I have friends that come over. I have a cute little house that really helps the entire family out. At the end of the day, I think that more people would value having that wonderful family life than having that wonderful rich life, So it really is all about the value when it comes towards abundance here, okay? All right, Aquarius, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Going on to the final zodiac here is going to be the Team Pisces. Let's see what the best message is going to be for Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the best message I can deliver here to Team Pisces, please? Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the best message that they need to hear when they need to hear it? Pisces, we have here the Four of Wands. Love that for you. Moving on to the next card, we have here the Two of Wands in reverse. And then lastly for you, Pisces, is going to be the Star in reverse. Pisces, your path towards your success will come when you decide to stop being indecisive. I think that that's exactly what the universe wants you to hear. It's about going with your gut here, Pisces. It's about going with what you feel is right. If you feel like the time is right to do something, go ahead and do it. If you feel like that is the perfect moment to take an opportunity, go ahead and take that opportunity. When you start psyching yourself out is when you start knocking yourself out of alignment, okay? Star card in reverse. So Piscean, when you start to contradict yourself, when you start to second guess yourself, when you start to psych yourself out on something you were previously going to do, that is when you knock yourself out of alignment of receiving what it is you want. It's time to get clear on the goals that you have in your life, and if you know the way you're going to execute them, stick to the way that you are going to execute them. Do not second guess yourself, because this is not the time to do that. When you second guess yourself, you knock yourself right out of alignment from what it is you were focusing on trying to receive. So I feel like the Four of Wands here is saying, Pisces, you have so much potential to be successful. You have so much potential to make something work to your benefit and work to your favor. But the moment you get lost inside your head is the moment where you lose that goal. It's the moment when you knock yourself off course, okay? So Pisces, Spirit here is really trying to say, go with your gut feeling. Go with what you intended to do. Don't stand in the way of yourself anymore and create these roadblocks, but instead, allow yourself to be smooth sailing. If you said, hey, today I'm going to go ahead and apply for this job, don't second guess yourself and say, well, maybe I should apply for like the other job instead. No, if that's what you said, go do it. If you woke up in the morning, Pisces, and you said, I'm going to go to the gym today, and then I'm also going to catch up on some work for my side hustle later on after I get out of the gym, don't go home and say, I don't really want to go to the gym, and I'd rather watch TV instead of focusing on my side hustle. Follow through with what it is you've asked of yourself. Follow through with what it is you've set out to do for yourself, and you are going to see the path of success open beautiful doorways for you, okay? So Pisces, don't second guess, don't contradict, don't walk the other way when you set out to do something you wanted to do. Follow through, okay? Is the best message that I can deliver to you. All right, baby, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Guys, thank you so much for coming out to this video. I literally just filmed this right on the fly. I was getting ready to go do some other types of readings, and then I had this idea of trying out this series of like, what is the best message I can give any zodiac sign, or all zodiac signs right now, potentially. And it was a really cool thing. I actually had a lot of fun doing this. I do apologize if I ended up, not being super clear and concise with certain messages. I had a lot of messages kind of flying at me all at once, so hopefully they were understandable for those of you that were watching, but this was pretty cool. Yeah, I did this all in one take, all in one shot, no cuts, no edits. Hopefully it was fun. Hopefully it was a good time. If you like this, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to do something like this again in the near future, okay? All right, y'all, I love you. Have an amazing day, and whenever you're watching this, that's when the message is for you. So you could watch this 4 years later, you could watch this 2 months later, you can watch this today when I post it, and that's when the message will be there for you to hear it, okay? All right, guys, have a good one, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.